you want to buy it. Because you have the money for it, you want to buy it. It shouldn't be so. Just because you have money for something doesn't mean you should buy it. Always make sure the item that you want to buy, the cost that you want to incur is within your budget. It is part of your budget. And also avoid lifestyle inflation. So lifestyle inflation is when people try to keep up with trend. They try to fit in. They try to meet social expectations. And so when they get a rise at work, they also increase their lifestyle. And so let's say if they earn 500 USD at the end of every month, and their expenditure was 300 cedis, the moment they get a rise to, let's say, 700 Ghana cedis, they also increase their expenses to 500. When you do that, there's no way you can achieve financial success. So always avoid lifestyle inflation. Upgrading your lifestyle just because you have received a bonus, just because you have received some money, just because you have received a rise at work, you don't need to increase your lifestyle. Stick to your previous lifestyle and put that money to work. That money can go towards savings. That money can go towards investment. And so try as much as possible to avoid lifestyle inflation. It's one of the common financial pitfalls a lot of people make. And then ignoring emergency fund is also a common financial pitfall. A lot of people ignore emergency funds. Emergency fund is a form of savings, but what you are doing is that you are saving towards the future. You are preparing for what can possibly happen. And so we advise minimum 6 months of your monthly expenditure should be saved in a separate account. And so if every month you spend, let's say, 1,000 USD, I'm using USD because of the currency variation. I think we can all understand or resonate with the USD, with the dollar. And so I'm using USD as a denomination here. And so if you earn 1,000 USD at the end of the month, if your expenses is 1,000 USD, that means you should have 1,000 times 6 in a separate account. That would be your emergency account. Why do you need an emergency account? Because life is uncertain. Anything can happen tomorrow. You can lose your job. And so when you lose your job, you go back to depend on your emergency fund. So when you get another job, there can be an emergency situation, hospital, your car can break down. You don't need to go into your savings, your actual savings account to take money. But because you have built an emergency, you can always go towards your emergency fund and get money to sort yourself out. And so never ignore emergency funds. Before you even do savings, try as much as possible to have an emergency fund. 6 months of your monthly expenditure should be saved towards emergencies. And you should do that first before you even think about investment. Because if you don't have an emergency fund in place, if something happens, you go towards your investment account because you need to take care of the situation. You go towards your savings account. And so it is important that we don't ignore emergency funds. Another mistake we make is that we neglect financial education, just like what we are having today. A lot of people do not want to learn about money. Money conversation is difficult. Most people avoid having financial conversations because it will expose their incapacities. It will expose their inability to handle their money. But then the more you have the money conversations, the more you learn about money, the more you master money. Money mastery is all about the knowledge, the skill set, and then your attitude and behavior. And so if you learn about it, the more you learn about it, the more aware you become about it, and the more you can control it. And so always be interested about learning about money. Ask questions when you go to the bank. Ask them, what are some of the products you have here? What interest do I get on my savings? What interest do I get on my investment? Engage the insurance professional, engage the tax professional, engage everyone within the financial planning chain, because there are a lot of things you need to learn. An accountant, you need to engage the accountant about your assets and your liabilities. You need to engage the insurance person about your insurance policies. You need to engage the attorney or the lawyer about your estate planning. And so financial education is really important if you really want to have a solid financial plan. So never neglect financial education. And then lack of accountability. Another pitfall, financial pitfall, is that there's always lack of accountability. We are doing our own thing and no one is supervising us. No one is holding us accountable. Try and get someone to hold you accountable. And that is why associations or clubs like this, I really like the concept of some of these clubs. Because anytime you come together, you are able to hold yourself accountable. You are able to expose something that someone might be doing that is not helping. And so this is the reason why we all need to belong to various clubs and get an accountability partner, even in the club. Tell Coach Samuel to be your accountability partner every month. Share your budget with him. Let him ask you questions about it. Are you sticking to this item? Are you doing what you said you were going to do? This is how you build a solid financial plan. And so we should set clear budgets and track our income and expenditure. We should avoid impulse spending and lifestyle inflation. We shouldn't ignore emergency funds. And then we shouldn't neglect financial education. And we should also try as much as possible to have accountability partners with regards to our financial planning. Now, let's reset your financial goals. Let's reset your financial goals. At the beginning of the year, you had some goals, right? And so now let's revisit and revise the goals. Let's revisit and revise the goals. And so all the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year, you can write them down. You can write them down. You can write those goals down. You can even put. So let's write 3 of our goals. The goals that we set for ourselves this year. Let's write those goals in the chat box. Yes. You can type 3 of your goals in the chat box. I want to read your goals. So type 3 of the goals you set for yourself at the beginning of the year. Type those goals in the chat box before we proceed. I'm waiting. Type 3 of your goals, your financial goals. Hello, are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, we are following the session. People, I think, are typing. Feel free to type your goals, share.
Yes, you can share 3 of your goals. We are using that for a quick exercise.
Okay, there is already one that is from Krista, who says transfer land title in May 2025, 11 million.
Okay, transfer the land title in May. Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing, Krista. Let's keep the goals coming through.
Great. Let's share our goals. Let's share our goals.
Okay, weekly saving challenge from Governor Joseph.
Great.
There's another one around repainting the house in April 2025 with a value there.
Okay, great. Great. So let's keep them coming and let's move on. So what you need to do is always revisit and revise your goals. As much like I tell people, your goals shouldn't be in your head. Your goals, write them down. And so we have a goal worksheet that I share with most of my clients. I give them a goal worksheet and then they list all their goals and I ask them to paste it in their house. You can paste it at your office so that every time you can see it and remember it. Always look at your goals, memorize your goals, make sure you are connecting with your goals every time. And so the 52-week money challenge, yes, weekly savings challenge. I remember in 2020, I launched this similar initiative. We had 52-week money challenge. And we are saying that week 1, you just save 1 Ghana cedis. Week 2, save 2 cedis. Week 3, 3 cedis. Up to week 52, you save 52 cedis. And along the way, a lot of people couldn't follow through because they were not revisiting their goal. The goal was that every week, try and save something. But some of them, because they were not revisiting and revising their goal, they forgot. Some were also doing 1 CD throughout the 52 weeks, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was saying that every week, week 1, we save 1, week 2, we save 2, week 3, we save 3. And so what revisiting and revising your goal does for you is that it keeps you on check. It helps you to stay on course. And so the person who said he was doing weekly money challenge, we are now somewhere around, let's say week 27, week 28. Are you still following through? And so once you revisit your goal, you realize that, oh, I am still following through my goal. The person who said he wanted to paint, yes, in April, revisit your goal and revise it. Have you been able to paint the house? Transfer the land title in May. Have you been able to do that? And so anytime you revisit your goal and revise it, it helps you to check the ones that you have been able to follow through and the ones that you need to focus attention on. Once you revisit and revise your goal, you focus on top 3 money priorities. And so out of your goals, which of them do you need to focus your money on? And I tell people financial goals are life goals with financial implications. Because you need money to achieve your goals. That is why they are financial goals. They are actually something that you want to achieve in your life. They are life goals. But you need money to achieve them. And so you make them financial goals. And so if you have about 3 goals, you have about 5 goals. Yes, after revisiting and revising your goal, you realize that you are left with 5 goals. Focus on the top 3. Focus on the top 3. And allocate your financial resources towards that goal. Once you are able to achieve that top 3 goals, you move to the next 3. So always prioritize your goals and focus money on the top 3. Focus your money you want to achieve. That is why you need to set smart goals and break your into long-term goals, medium-term. The short-term goal, prioritize goals. So the ones that you have prioritized them, you make them short-term goals so that you can focus your resources on them and achieve them within the shortest possible time before you move on to the next one. And one key I also use is that your goal, the long-term goal, if you want to achieve the long-term goal, it will start from the short-term goal. And so if you have a goal like I want to buy a car, and the car will cost you a huge amount of money, and you need about 2 years to raise that money. You can decide to break it down. So I want to buy a car in 2 years. I need about 20 million to do that. I need about 20 million to do that. Okay, let me break it down. Every year, I need to raise 10 million. Right. Let me break that down. Every month, how much do I need to raise to be able to achieve the 20 million for buying the car in 2 years? And so if every year you're supposed to raise 10 million, 10 million divided by the number of months, that's, you need to raise 800,000 every month. 800,000 every month. And that can help you achieve your long-term goal of buying the car. And so you break your goals down, you work towards it. Even you can even break that 800,000 down to weeks, 2 weeks. And so if you have to do 800,000 in a month, you divide that by 4 because you have 4 weeks in a month. As you need to do 200,000 in a week. You can even break that 200,000 to days. So 7 days, 28,500 in a day. And so this is how you work towards your goals. And then adjust, don't abandon. If you realize you are not able to achieve certain goals, maybe you set a goal to, let me look at some of the goals. Yes, to deposit 100K every month on a unit trust account. That was your goal. And then when you were doing your mid-year review, realize that at a point you defaulted on that. Instead of doing it every month, there were certain months you couldn't follow through. You don't abandon the goal. You adjust. You adjust. Okay. Though I couldn't follow through in February and in April, I will still go ahead with this goal. But then I will extend the period. And so if the goal was to do that for a year, because it defaulted on 2 months, you can say I'll do that in a year and 2 months. And you'll still be able to achieve your goal. And so don't abandon every goal that you set for yourself. Always adjust and work towards it. Delay is not denial. And personal financial planning is personal. And so you are not in competition with everyone. Don't compare your financial situation to someone else. Don't say this person is doing this person is doing this. So I also want to do it like that person. No, that is why personal financial planning is personal. And so look at your situation and always adjust to fit your situation. Adjust to fit your situation. So let's look at some strategies for July to December. Now we are in July. We want to get our financial planning in perfect shape. We want to get our personal financial planning in perfect shape. How do we do it? 1, we need to rebuild emergency fund. If you don't have an emergency fund, and I said earlier, you need 6 months of your monthly expenditure. And so you need to know how much you spend every month. If you spend 1 million, if you spend 2 million, if you spend 6 million, that times 6, have that in a separate account. And what you can do is that if you don't have it, you can dedicate the next 6 months to rebuilding your emergency fund. It can even be 1 year. You just have to accumulate 6 months of your monthly expenditure in an emergency fund. Even if it will take you 2 years to do that, just do it. Just do it. So every month, decide an amount that you want to save towards your emergency fund. Every month, decide an amount that you want to save towards your emergency fund from July to December. That's our first action item. And I'll come back to Coach Samuel and ask him if the members were able to do that. If you do that, just give Coach Samuel a call he will let me know, I have a gift. I have a gift for you. Maybe when I come to Uganda, we will have a lunch or something together. Yes. And then cut 2/3 of your non-essentials. Cut 2/3 of your non-essentials. So non-essentials are your wants. You see, with personal financial planning, there are two things that you always need to know: your needs and your wants. Your needs are the basic necessities of life. They are the essentials of life. They are the things you need so your life can move on. And so your food, a place to put your head, so rent is important, your transportation. Now, internet data is also a necessity. And so these are the things you need to focus much of your expenditure on, your needs. But then your wants are the things that you desire to have. They are the things that you can do away with. You can decide not to spend money on, and it will not affect your daily activities. It will not affect your life. Like entertainment, you can decide not to go for that show, and your life will still move on. You can decide not to subscribe to DSTV subscription, and your life will still move on. You can decide not to go for subscribe to the gym membership, and your life will still move on. So there are things that you can easily do away with. Those are the non-essentials. And so if you want to build an emergency fund, if you want to increase your savings rate, then you need to cut down on your non-essentials. So look through your budget. What are some of the expenditures that you are incurring that you think you can still live without it? Yes. If I don't incur this expenditure, I'll still live. My life will still move on. I'll be able to achieve the things I want to achieve. My career will still move on. Take those non-essentials out of your budget and refocus that money into your emergency fund or into your savings. The third strategy we need to adopt is to increase our savings rate. And so now if you are doing 10%, because the remaining of the year, we want to increase our savings rate, we can decide to, okay, from July to December, I'm not doing 10%. I'm doing 15%, I'm doing 20% just for July to December. So push yourself and increase your savings rate. If you're saving 10%, just for July to December, save 20%, save 30%, and see the end results at the end of the year. Yes. So increase your savings rate. And this is a personal decision. You have to be disciplined to be able to do that. Exploit side income. Another strategy is for us to exploit side income. And so you don't need to depend on one source. Look for ways you can make additional income. If you are working a 9-to-5 job at the moment and you don't see any way or any means to make a side income, maybe you need to build another skill set. And so right after work, now there are a lot of skills you can build online. There are a lot of courses you can take online. So you can decide to build some of these skills and leverage that to earn additional income. Another way is for you to invest. Not all of us can start a business. And I want you to take note of this. Not everyone can start a business, but everyone can invest. Everyone can invest. And investment is also a way your money can work for you. And so it's also a way you are exploring side income. Like I said earlier, the story I told you, my investments provide dividends. So I have an MTN share, and MTN is doing very well in Ghana. And so if MTN is sharing dividends, I also get my share. And it's a way I am exploring side income. I don't need to use my own energy, but then my money is working for me. And so if you are doing 9-to-5 and you think there's no way you can do other side businesses, the income that you are receiving from your 9-to-5, a percentage of it should go into investment. It should be working for you. It should be working for you. And so exploit side income. You can invest in someone who is doing businesses. You can, if someone is running a profitable business, You can approach the person and tell the person, I want to be an investor, and save money and invest in that business, and strike a deal with the person that every month pay me this amount, but make sure your paperwork are always intact. Very, very important. So let's explore side hustle from July to December. If there are no means we can do that, maybe from July to December, you need to build another skill set, and that skill set will earn you additional income in the near future. The next strategy is for us to set up or increase automated transfers. Set up or increase automated transfers. And so this is where you put standing orders in place. And so the moment money hits your account, the moment the company pays you, the moment you execute a contract and you are paid, the moment the money hits your account, the bank automatically deducts their savings from your account. And so if you are doing 10% of that income, anytime money hits your account, 10% will go into your savings, 10% will go into your investment. And so let's set up automation, or let's increase automation if we are already doing it. That's also a strategy we can use for the remaining of the year. And the results will show at the end of the year. Invest small consistently. I tell people it's not how big you are investing, it is how consistent you are. And so if every month you can do 500, you can do 100, you can do 300, you can do, depending on the amount, be consistent with it. Yes, be consistent with the amount of money you are investing. Be consistent with it. And then join a financial accountability group. I think I've spoken about it earlier. It is important for you to join financial accountability group. And just like you have this club, always be part of it. Ask questions, engage people, ask people where they are saving their money, ask people what is working for them, how they are exploring side income, how they are increasing their savings rate. You need to understand their story and use it, customize it for yourself. Yes. And so it's always important to listen to other people, but then use their situation to create your own situation and leverage that to grow your finances. And so these are some of the strategies we can adopt for the remaining of the year, for the remaining of the year. But then this is also important to me. Everything we are discussing now, if you don't budget, there's no way you can do everything that we have discussed. And so budgeting is the foundation for savings. Budgeting is the foundation for investment. Everything that you want to do with your personal finance, budgeting is the foundation. And there are rules. And one of the most popular rule of budgeting is the 50, 30, 20% rule. What this rule says is that 50% of your income should go into your needs. And I've elaborated that your needs are the essentials of life. They are the things you need so your life will move on. They are the things you need to survive. And so 50% of your monthly income should be focused on your needs. You should allocate that to your needs and try to meet your needs. 30% should go into your wants. And I've explained your wants. So everything that you want to have, if you want to buy a car, maybe a car is not a necessity now, but in the near future, you want to get a car, save the 30% towards that. So every month, save 30% of your income towards achieving that. And then 20% should go into savings. And so if you're adopting this rule, there's no way you can tell me I can't save. Because the rule is saying that any income that comes to you, 20% should go into savings. And so you have no excuse not to save money. Yes. And then twerk your own version. There are people who says, for me, at the end of the month, 70% will go into my needs. And then I will save 20% towards my wants, and 10% will go into savings. If that is what will work for you, personal financial planning is personal. You can do that. Someone will say, for me, I will save all the 100% of my monthly income. I know a friend of mine who is doing 50% every month. The moment money hits her account, he has the automation. So the bank automatically deducts 50% towards her savings. And she has been doing this for almost 2 years. She has been doing this for almost 2 years. So twerk your own version. What works for you? Just be consistent and just discipline yourself. Yes. Track expenses weekly. And so every week, track your expenses. List all your expenses and make sure you are tracking them. Make sure you are tracking them. Where your money is going. I paid this amount. I did this. List every expenditure that you can. You can use app or spreadsheets. You can just use Excel spreadsheet to track all your expenditure. There are a lot of apps. You can use the Mint app. Mint app can help you with your budgeting. There are a lot of apps online that can guide you to track your expenditure. And then plan for incoming events. Christmas, holidays. So one thing I always stressed on is that everyone should have a Christmas budget. Everyone should have a Christmas budget because during the festive season, a lot of people spend money. And because they don't budget for it, by the time we are in the new year and they want to assess the expenses, they will realize they have spent so much money. But then, even before the Christmas, draft a nice Christmas budget. This is how much I'll spend on food. This is gifts that I want to give out. This is how much I will spend on entertainment. Draft a budget for it and stick to it. Holidays. If you want to go on a holiday, vacation somewhere, have a budget for it. Every activity that you want to do, have a budget for it and stick to it. And so the plan is simple. You need a simple plan, but then the sustainability, how consistent you become, will help you achieve success. Success is not complicated. Success is very simple. You need a simple plan and you need to remain consistent and you will achieve the success that you are looking for. And so these are some of the tips, the 50, 30, 20% rule, or you can tweak your own version, track expenses weekly, use apps or spreadsheet to do that, and then plan for upcoming events, Christmas budgets, vacation, holidays budgets, and the rest. Now, it is not just about math. Yes, we've done a lot of math today. How much you need to save, how much you need to break your goals down, and all that. But then achieving financial success or getting your finances in place or being able to review your mid-year goals and making progress towards the end of the year, you also need mindset. And so some of the mindsets you will need to wrap up the year or to make progress towards the end of the year. One is practice delayed gratification. Yes. If you want to save more money, if you want to develop side hustle, if you want to build emergency fund, you need to delay gratification. Delaying gratification is foregoing the immediate benefits or pleasures in attainment of the future benefits. So I tell people, anytime you want to spend money, there are two things. It's either you are meeting an immediate benefit or you are meeting a future benefit. And so what delayed gratification is saying that forgo the immediate benefit. Yes, it's nice to go out there and eat pizza. You have that pleasure. You feel good. But then forgoing pizza now and saving the money towards something that you want to do will give you greater fulfillment when you are able to accomplish that. You've set goals for yourself that at the end of the year, this is how much I want to save. This is how much I want to raise. Or this is the business I want to start. I need this amount to start the business. But then if you eat the pizza today, you might not be able to achieve that goal that you set for yourself. But if you forgo the pizza now, you will be able to achieve the goal that you set for yourself. And that will give you much fulfillment. And so let's practice delayed gratification. Let's forgo the immediate benefits and think about the future benefit, the goal that we set for ourselves. Let's work towards achieving that goal. Because if you set goals and you achieve them, it comes with greater fulfillment. It gives you momentum to do more. It gives you momentum to do more. That's why you need to set goals. And so let's practice delayed gratification for the remaining of the year. Let's set mini rewards. And so if you make progress, reward yourself. Reward yourself. Celebrate yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Yes. If I've told myself that every month I'm going to save 10%, and I've been able to do that for 3 months, I should be able to say, Charlie, let me reward myself. Let me go and do something fun. Let me go and it's part of the process. So always set mini rewards for yourself. Even as you are delaying gratification, when you achieve a goal, reward yourself. And then avoid comparison. Don't compare yourself to someone. Like I said, personal financial planning is personal. What will work for Coach Samuel will not work for Peter. What will work for Peter will not work for Harriet. What will work for Harriet will not work for Maxwell. What will work for Maxwell will not work for Emmanuel. And so let's avoid comparison. Let's focus on our goals and let's work towards achieving our goals. And the most important one, and I love this so much, stay financially literate. Stay financially literate. With financial literacy, we are talking about 3 things. Attitude. 1 is knowledge. Financial literacy is all about knowledge, having knowledge to manage your money well. But then financial literacy is also about skill set. So budgeting skills, goal setting skills, all the things that you spoke about, they are skills. But then if you have the knowledge and you have the skills and you are not able to follow through, you are not financially literate. And so financial literacy has also got to do with your attitude and behavior. There are a lot of people who know savings. They know savings is good, but then they are not saving because their attitude and their behavior is not helping them to save. They are not able to delay gratification. They are not able to avoid comparison. And so every time they want to compete, they want to fit in. And that will not help you achieve your financial goals. So stay financially literate by getting the relevant knowledge about your finances, getting the required skill sets to manage your finances, and also align your attitude and your behavior towards achieving the goals that you set for yourself. Your action plan. Let's 3 new actions you will take this week. So let's put on the chat box from everything that you've heard today. What 3 actions are you going to take from here? Let's 3 new actions you will take this week. 3 new actions. Let's go. 3 new actions. Buy family land, save consistently, and build emergency fund. Great. So Harriet is saying that he will buy family land, he will save consistently, and build emergency fund. Awesome. Who is next? What 3 new actions are you going to take? Let's share our actions. Or you are not thinking about it. Let's share our actions. Great. And then 2, find accountability partner. And so one thing I will plead with Coach Samuel is to connect the members. So form accountability groups. So you can pair them. And then each of them will be an accountability partner to the other. That would be great. That would be great. Yes. And then set date for new review. Yes, we are doing the mid-year review now. But then your review can be in 3 weeks. It can be every month. Every month, I'll review my own personal financial planning. And that's something I do all the time. Every month, I sit down. My income, I look at my income. What went right? What do I need to do? I look at my expenses. Did I incur certain expenses that wasn't on my budget? Why did I do that? So every month, I'm asking myself questions. And this will help you stay on track. Because a lot of things are competing for our money. See, once you go on, there are a lot of adverts, there are a lot of ads that are competing for your money. There's a lot of people around you who want you to bless them with some funds. And so if you don't track some of these expenses, by the time you realize, you will not be able to achieve your goals. You'll not be able to achieve your goals. Lydia is saying, celebrate myself for every financial win, like saving goal. Save 1K a day. Great. Great. These are awesome actions that people want to take. Awesome actions. Yes. And so set a date for your next review. Now, my final words. Let's reflect on our goals. Let's rebuild and let's rise. Mid-year is not too late. Yes. And so if you were not able to develop a financial goal at the beginning of the year, you can start from now. You can do a 6-month intensive financial plan. And that will really help you. Yes. So you can start right from today, right after this program. Go sit down, set a 6-month roadmap towards your financial plan and work towards it. Progress over perfection. Remember, what you need to do is to progress and don't look for perfection. And so if you are doing 10%, don't say 10% is too small. I want to do 100%. No. What you can do is that if you have been doing 10% for the past 6 months, maybe now just add 1% or 2%. I'm going to do 12%. That is progress. So always let progress direct your actions and not perfection. And then we have 6 months to go to end the year. We've set goals. We want to achieve this. We want to achieve that. Let's finish strong. Let's finish strong. Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. And I want everyone to unmute themselves. We are going to read this together. We are going to read this together. But before that, Mariam is saying, how do you set? Okay, I'll come to the questions. Aisha is saying, delay gratification immediately. Awesome. And then Emmanuel, be more consistent with accountability. Great. Great. But let's unmute ourselves. You can unmute yourself. We can unmute yourself. Let's do this quick. We are all going to read this. Yes, let's unmute our microphones. Let's unmute our microphones. Yes. So let's all read the quote. Do not save what is left after spending,
but spend what is left after saving.
After saving. Yes. Most often, we save what is left after we have spent on our expenses. By the time we realize spending on our expenses, we realize we don't have any amount to save. But what we are going to do from today is that anytime we get money, we will save first. And so if you are doing 10%, once you get the money, save your 10% and spend what is left. If you are doing 20, save the 20% and spend what is left. Warren Buffett is one of the greatest investors in the world. And he did this through savings and investing. And he's saying that for you to achieve financial success, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. And so once you decide the amount of money you want to save every month, if you get money, save that before you spend. And so always pay yourself first. And you pay yourself by putting that money into your savings account, into your investment account, or into something that will generate additional income in the near future. Thank you very much. And with Samuel, I'm ready for any question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter, for the great presentation, and thanks so much to our engaging audience. Thank you so much for sharing A lot that is coming through from the comment section really depicts an active class that has really been attending. Friends, again, I want to welcome you to the Transformation Professionals Club webinar that we hold every Friday at the same time from 7 to 9 p.m. That's East African time. I know my friends like Peter, it's still early in Ghana. It's actually 5:26, but all the same, we are one Africa, and good to always be able to connect. So a lot that you've shared, myself been taking notes here, learning, because one of the things I've come to appreciate about financial literacy is it's a day-to-day thing. It's just like the way you exercise to ensure that you're fit as within your body, or just as you do checks in with the doctor, or whatever you do. It is very important to keep yourself into this financial literacy kind of journey, or learning. Every day is something that you learn. Some of them will actually be reminders because you already know what to do. But sometimes when you get dissolved, when you dissolve yourself into learning, either listening to webinars or reading a book, you keep growing in the whole journey. So I've been learning, and I want to say thank you so much to our audience. Being here is something that we don't take for granted, so we also say thank you so much. At this time, we want to say, are there any questions? I think as questions also come through here, I think one of the questions that I see in the comment section is definitely coming from Mariam, who was saying, how do you set off debts with 50% to needs and 30% going to wants? I think you'll be able to respond to that. There's another question that has also come through from Proscovia that says, what's the role of the accountability partners? I believe that maybe we can start with those as more questions come through. In case you want to ask a question directly, you can raise up your hand and we'll be able to give you the opportunity when he is done answering these two. So Peter, we could start with those, but otherwise, thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, so how do you set off debt with 50% to needs and 30 going towards wants? Yeah, so mostly the savings, you realize 20% was going towards savings. And we save for three main things. You save to meet emergencies, you save towards your needs, and you also save towards the future or invest it. And so if 20% is going towards savings, what our advice is that 20%, use that 20% to build an emergency fund from the start, before you even start saving towards any other objective that you have. And so the 50 will go towards your needs, the 30 will go towards your wants, but the 20 that is going towards savings, use that for your emergency fund. Try and accumulate your 6-month living expenditure with that 20% before you start saving towards other goals. And then the second question, accountability partner. So basically to check the goals that you set for yourself, your accountability partner is there to make sure you follow through. And so every month, maybe I have 2 things that I want to do in the course of the month. I will share that 2 things with my accountability partner. And so at the end of the month, or in the course of the month, my accountability partner will reach out to me and ask me, Peter, you said you were going to learn a new skill. Have you started? How is it going? So they will always check up on me, make sure the things that I say I will do, I am actually doing it. Because sometimes if no one is there to keep you on check or to hold you accountable, you can be saying things and then you are not doing it. And so you need someone to check up on you, to remind you to remind you that you said you were going to do this. Yes, you can do it. Do it. So they are more of a cheerleader. They are more of someone who can push you towards your goals and also remind you that you need to follow through. Yes, thank you. I hope your questions are answered.
Okay, great. Yes, you've answered. What I see in the chat box, appreciation. Mumza says, thank you so much. Harriet also says the same. Thank you, Peter. There's always something new we can learn about finances. It was helpful. Robert also says, excellent presentation, Peter. Thank you so much. Peter, I just want you to maybe just also highlight something to people who, for now, they have lost their jobs. You know, just as in Ghana, you said when you said cut off its funding, it affected quite a number of people. The economies are also not doing that well. So there are people who are either fresh graduates that are just leaving the university that may not have money. What kind of message or strategies would you? I know you spoke about alternative sources of income, but you could also be able to elaborate. I know you also an advocate of starting businesses. What are some of those things that they can be able to do to revamp themselves such that they can also finish there on a strong position?
Great. Thank you very much. Yes, so I believe there's a time a man learn and there's a time a man earn. And so there's a time you need to learn a lot. And once you learn a lot, you can leverage that to start earning money. With that being said, there are always needs of people. And so always look within your environment, the needs of the people in your environment, and turn that into a business. Sometimes you might not need money to start. For example, when I was on campus, I used to sell suits. And one time I wear a suit for lectures, and my friends started saying, "Oh, your suit look nice, and we want some. So I decided to go to the marketplace. I went to negotiate with the woman who was selling the suit. And so he was going to give the suit to me around, let's say, 100 USD. And then I would take the suits, I'll come to campus and sell the suit 120. And so I was making 20 USD on every sale. And because my friends, they didn't want to go to the marketplace, and I was taking that extra effort. I was doing that extra effort to get to the marketplace, get the items for them. They were happy buying it at 120. And so all I'm trying to say is that look within your community. What is something that people need that isn't available, and provide it. Everything that people need that isn't available, you can decide to provide it. And always share your ideas with people who are in a position to support you. And also form partnerships with your colleagues. Sometimes you have an idea. If you are waiting to raise money to start it, it will take you a long time. But then there are some friends who have some money. You can approach them, share the idea with them, ask them to bring on board some money so you can start the idea. And so always be looking around you. One, when you meet the needs of people, they will pay you for it. And so look within your community, find a need, and turn that need into a business. Two, the moment you make life comfortable and easier for people around you, you'll be in business. And so ask yourself, how do I make life easy and comfortable for people? For me, it was taking the extra stress to go to the marketplace to arrange for the things and come and sell to my friends. Because I was making life comfortable for them, and they were happy buying it at 120. And I was making some 20 profit. And so look for ways you can make life easy and comfortable for people. And then the third one is that for you to start a business, you must be solving a problem. You must be solving a problem. And once you identify a problem and you don't have the money to solve that problem, get to someone who has the money, other people's money. And so there are ways you can start businesses through other people's money. And so you go and talk to someone who has the money, you share the idea with the person and tell the person that, see, if you support me with this, this is how much you are going to make every month or every year or every quarter. And there are people who have money who are looking for ideas to invest their money in. And so start talking to people. And the most important thing is social capital. Connect with people. Let them know what you do. Always make sure people are aware of what you do, because they are the people who give you opportunity. They are the people who open doors for you. And so if you have lost your job, if you are a new graduate, connect with people, network with people. Let them know what you do. Let them know what you read in school, and ask them to open doors for you when they get opportunity. Yes. If you are not asking, there's no way people will help you. And this is a biblical principle. Seek, knock. I'm writing a book on ask, the biblical principle for greater abundance. You need to ask. If you don't ask, there's no way people will listen to you. And so let people know what you do, and also ask them to open doors for you when they get the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter, for those responses, and thanks for the comments. Coach Win says, thank you, Peter, for the reminder. Coach Win is joining in from Kenya. I know you mentioned you've been to Kenya, and good to have always to be part of this. Coach Winnie, thank you so much. Mukisa says, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. As we conclude, Mr. Peter, I also want to just comment on how people, because the Transformational Professionals Club has both professionals but also entrepreneurs. Now, in most cases, entrepreneurs run businesses, and there is always that challenge of separating between the business funds and the personal funds. And yet, this is a critical aspect when it comes to being able to manage your finances rightly. Could you just comment on how business people can also be able to leverage onto some of these strategies you've shared, but more so making sure that they're separating their finances and growing them as either individual finances, but also think about the business finances?
Great. Thank you very much. Yes, it's really important for entrepreneurs and business people to separate their personal and business finance. And you can do that by paying yourself from your business funds. And so one, you need to have two separate accounts, one for your business and one for yourself. And decide an amount that you want to pay yourself from your business. And so there are people who do not set any amount for themselves. Anytime they want to do something, they go into the business account. No, you shouldn't be doing that. And so tell yourself, if the business is going to pay you, let's say, 5,000 every month, the moment its month ends, you pay that 5,000 from the business account into your personal account. If you want to buy something for yourself, you go into your personal account. If you want to buy something for the business, you go into the business account. Once you start doing that, you are separating your personal finances from your business finance. And so keep two separate accounts, one for yourself, one for the business, and decide an amount that you want to pay yourself from your business. And that should be paid into your personal account every month. And anytime you want to get something for yourself, don't go into the business account, go to your personal account. Anytime you want to buy something for the business, you go for the business account. And you can also do investment for the business. And so you can also go ahead to open a third account. That will be an investment account. So you take money from the business account into the investment account. So in case of some emergencies, you know that I was also doing an investment for my business. Yes. So always separate those accounts. It's more of the accounts that you open at various banks. Make sure you have the business own and you have your own account. And don't use the business account for personal expenses. Yeah. I think this will be my advice on that.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter. I know that we have some entrepreneurs that are taking notes here, and yeah, it's one step at a time. Sometimes it's hard, but you do it. One of the things that I've come to appreciate when it comes to personal finance and finance generally, it's about discipline and commitment and knowing that, okay, this is what I want to achieve, and I'll only be able to achieve it if at all I take these steps. And before you know it, the habit is built up. The things that were hard at some point in time, they now become easy because it now becomes part of you. One of the things that I've also come to appreciate is where you feel you're not so disciplined, you can be able to leverage the automatic way of doing things like Peter shared. Ask your bank to do a direct debit of your account on a monthly basis. And before you know it, you've gotten used. I usually share about my story of how I signed up for Unitrust here in Uganda. And for over 5 years, they were deducting an amount of money off my account. I struggled of course, in the first 3 months, 4 months, but by the fifth month, already psychologically, I knew this money does not belong to me. And within about 5 years, that money had accumulated so much. And you see, what is interesting about saving is there's a saying that save today and you'll be saved in the future. Now, when I started saving 5 years ago, my life was different. I was single, I did not have a family, didn't have anything. And 5 years later on, I was married, I had a child. Basically, there were quite a number of things that I needed to be able to do. And when that money came through, it came in handy because it came at the right time. I was actually finishing up my house. I was able to put that money to different parts of my house, and the change and the effect was really substantial. And in my heart, I was like, thank God I really saved. So that's what happens. And I like the whole aspect that it's not just about how much you save. For most people, the reason why they have not saved up to now is because they want to start saving big. So every time, like, but I can't save. And they underestimate the power in just saving that small amount of money. It might be as small as you look at it, even if it's a $1. That $1 replicates into $100 after 100 days. And before you know it, the money is growing. So don't underestimate, start with what you feel is small. When Peter shared the budget rule, I know for some people, they'll tell you, I can't do that 20% saving. Then if you can't do the 20%, why don't you do the 10%? Why don't you do the 15%? Such that you're able to build on, because Peter had said, your personal finance is personal. So what works for Peter may not work for you. You say, given my situation, given the family I'm supporting, I can do 10, maybe 20, and maybe 70. And before you know it, you're in there, you're growing the habit. When whatever challenges you have gone, and now you can do 20%. You're so much ahead of other person who was waiting for the comfort zone and everything being in place to be able to start. So I hope that our next 6 months will be totally different and will be it will be a year of not just regret and saying that the year is done, I have nothing I've done. Right now is the time for you to extend that gratification, just like Aisha shared. So it's something that I really I want to appreciate us having this conversation. I believe that we'll be able to learn together continuously. I want to appreciate you, Peter, for creating time. I know this has been a conversation that we've held for a while, but I'm glad that we've been able to do it. And I believe that our audience has also been able to learn one or two things. There's always something to learn at the end of the day. And I believe that we can be able to take on and have some actions. As the Transformational Professionals Club, we believe that it's not just about learning, it's about learning and growing and being able to turn that into income. So I just want to appreciate you and ask you at this time to, in case there is no question, which I don't see anything in the chat box, all these were appreciations. I'll just ask you to share your closing remarks, and you could also tell us how people can connect with you. I know you're on various social media platforms, and you also have quite a number of programs that we believe we can be able to really bring to Uganda and see how we can impact ourselves as Africans. So over to you.
Great. Great. Thank you very much, Samuel, for the opportunity to engage with your club members. I hope I've been able to share some nuggets that we can implement in the remaining months of the year. So you can connect with me on all social media platforms. LinkedIn, Peter Asare Nyarko. Facebook, Peter Asare Nyarko. Instagram at Mr_Asare Nyarko. X, Mr_Asare Nyarko. Or you can just Google my name, Peter Asare Nyarko, and you'll find amazing links to most of my social media platforms. On YouTube too, you can search Peter Asare Nyarko on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post a lot of videos on money conversations in there. You can also get more information on our website, Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, cfleafrica.org. There's a lot of information there. We have a lot of free books on personal finance. You can go on there and download them and use them to get your financial house in order. Yes, so we are running the Improving Financial Awareness and Financial Literacy movement in Africa. So this is a movement that started about 2 decades ago in the United States, and we have managed to bring it to Africa. Now we are in 12 countries in Africa. We started something with Macri University or Makalele University. Yes, we started something with them in 2018 and 2019. But during the COVID in 2020, they closed down the school. And so most of our activities were on hold. And since then, we haven't been able to revive it to the extent that we want. And so we are still looking for passionate ambassadors in Uganda to champion these activities with. We also have the Global Youth Movement, which we have the African Youth and Money Conference that took place in May this year. The first edition was launched in Tanzania in 2023. And we are looking forward to bringing all Africans on board where we can meet and have conversation among ourselves, network among ourselves, connect with each other and move the continent forward. We believe young Africans have the greatest power to be agents of change. And so the more we have meaningful conversation among ourselves, the more we share our dreams and our missions, I think we can have that alignment and work together to improve our continent. There's a lot of resources on this continent, but our leaders are not helping us to unearth these resources. And so it is up to us, the younger generations, our generation, to have some of this conversation and see how best we can move the continent forward. So I'm so grateful to be with you, and let's connect on social media. Let's keep having such conversations. Let's keep working on our finances, and let's work to end inherited poverty on the continent of Africa. Anytime you get money, think about 3 things. 1, spend a percentage of that money on yourself to look good, to feel better, to get your energy and to do the things that you want to do. But 2, Save a percentage of that money towards the future, towards investment, towards upgrading yourself. And finally, don't forget to invest a percentage of that money in another person. Help someone when you get the opportunity to help that person. And the Lord himself will expand your financial resources. Thank you and have a good evening.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. And thank you so much, our audience, for coming through. Friends, join me in thanking Mr. Peter for the wonderful presentation, very detailed. And we have learned quite a lot. And we believe that we are set to do great things in the next half of the year. I know we're now about 5 months down the road that we'll be looking at, but nevertheless, it's never too late. And the whole pressure of time has left me is just according to you as an individual, because this is your personal journey. And like Peter said, your evaluation might be in February. You do not have to follow patterns. As long as you start on your journey, it's quite important, because at the end of the day, this is your journey. This is you. And at the end of the day, when those bills are looking at you, it will be only you in there. So you need to get up and see how you can change your trajectory. I know that some people may not have enough income right now, but like Peter shared, find something that you can sell. There is always somebody outside there who is looking forward to buy one or two things from you and support you. Instead of begging, it's better off telling people that I am selling these things. This is my source of income. Before you know it, people are referring it to another person, and your business is growing and your income is growing, and you're able to sell and you're able to grow wealth. And before you know it, you are somewhere where you're proud of your journey. That's how life moves. And even if for you who are employed, I know most of the times, even when you're employed, the salaries are low. Make sure that you find ways of how to live within the means. Most of the reasons why you're struggling with saving is because you're living out of your means. So get back to the drawing board and see where are the leakages. What are some of those things that are eating me up that I can be able to leverage on? What are some of those things that I can do differently? Because this is your personal journey. If other people are doing A, B, C, D, they're taking Uber, they're doing whatever, for you, it is different for you. Yours is to see, what can I do? What place am I renting? Is it within my means? What am I doing about my life? Because friends, let me tell you, a time is going to come when you're not earning. There are quite a number of people who thought they will earn forever. And right now, because of funds freeze, because of other circumstances, they do not have jobs. Yours may not be a job loss. It could be sickness, God forbid. It could be anything that can happen. An emergency fund that Peter just shared is not optional. This is something that is real. I have had a close relative who got disabled during an accident, and it took him about 2 years to get back. But they had the family, they had some people to take care of, and they needed something to be able to survive. So please, 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 let's make sure that we are doing something about our lives, because no one is coming to rescue us. It's about us. So thank you so much for logging in. If this is your first time being part of our webinars, this is the Transformation Professionals Club. We are always here every Friday to come to be able to learn. We also have other programs, like, for example, we host physical masterclasses. We have been trying to think of a convenient time for our masterclasses. And right now, we're into the confirmations. We're trying to look at, instead of meeting early August, we're trying to find ways of how we can meet, let's say, the end of August, 30th August, such that we can be able to learn and see how we can interact, connect, and do greater things. So when we advertise that physical masterclass, check it out and see how you can be part of it. You can start your saving. And we also have quite a number of programs that we'll be able to launch to see how we can be able to support each other. At the end of the day, it's possible. And if you are doing something about your situation, much likely it will change. But if you sit back and think that luck is going to help you, much likely you're going to regret. So let's take charge of our lives. And at the end of the day, as the Transformational Professionals Club, our key goal is to help you connect, learn, grow, and earn. When you follow those key parameters, when you connect, learn, grow, much likely you'll be able to earn. So I just want to appreciate you for coming through. You can join our WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group where you can be able to be part of. In case this is your first time you want to join our movement, just shared a link in the chat box. You can fill that form such that you can be able to be in our WhatsApp group. There's a link to the WhatsApp group at the end of the form. Let's connect, let's be together, let's learn with each other. I believe that we'll be able to change our lives and change the lives of those that matter to us. So thank you so much for being here. Until next Friday, may God bless you. Bye-bye.